Hey folks, Micah McGee here. If you don't know, crow isn't bad to eat, although I don't know where the adage came, I had to eat crow. Longbow Banjo was here hunting and he was able to call this in with his mouth and shoot it out of the sky. He's agreed to let me have it, and I'm going to show you just how good crow meat can be. All right, folks, we have got our crow right here. As you see, it's not a tiny bird, but it ain't as big as what they look like with all their feathers on them. But what we're going to do, we're just going to take the whole bird, because when you're dealing with a small bird like a dove or a crow, anything, if you use the whole bird, then you can utilize a lot of this meat that usually it gets thrown away. They just breast it out, and as you can see, the breast is only a small portion of this whole bird. So let's take some salt. We're just gonna throw some salt on this baby on both sides. There's meat on the back too. And by doing it on the foil that we're gonna wrap it in, it's gonna keep all that seasoning in there. One of my main ingredient is this. I think with a crow, camp dog seasoning is gonna be the way to go because it's Cajun. And Cajun goes good with all these kinds of wild, crazy things. Now this camp dog seasoning here, I can get you a deal on it. You've probably heard me talking about it and you've been thinking, oh, I'd kind of like to get some of that. Now's the time. Right now is the time. You're gonna get 20% off. Can you imagine 20% off of something that don't even cost that much in the first place? So drop down in the head of the comments, click on the link. It will take you there. There's more than just this kind of seasoning. There's blackening seasoning, there's fish fry, there's hush puppy mix. I mean, all kinds of good stuff. But I highly recommend having a can or two of this on hand because you never know when you're gonna have something that needs some camp dog on it. Now I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this herb and citrus on there since it's a bird. I like this on birds. I like it on pork too. And all we're gonna do at this point, we're gonna wrap it up. We're just gonna make this is gonna be watertight basically so that it steams and cooks it tender. If you can't get it tender, you can't get the meat off the bone. If you can just bite a few hunks off, you ain't gonna get much. So you want it to be tender, and the only way to have it tender is to have it steaming in that pocket right there. We're just gonna pop that right down in there. We're gonna put this in the oven. My oven is a wood cook stove. It's hard to regulate it to exactly 350 or 300 or whatever, but I can promise you, if it's hot enough, it'll cook. And I'm thinking it's probably gonna be around 300, 350. It's kind of cool. We had some snow falling this morning, so we do have a fire going in the house, and that means the oven is already hot. It's preheated. So let's get in there and throw it in there, and when it's done, we'll yank it out and we'll eat it.
I know how he is. I know how he is, don't I?
No, you don't know how he is.
Yes, I do know. I do. Oh,
Yeah.
Mom, he mean to me.
I ain't mean to him. I'm just trying to feed him some crow.
I don't want no crow.
All right, we got it cooked. I hope. We haven't opened it up yet to check. I guess if it's not done yet, well, it'll taste better. I don't know. Let's get it out of here. Oh, yeah, it's done. Look at all that juice. Get in here on that juice, man. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna take it, lay it right here on the cutting board. Ooh, I don't want to spill this juice. Just set this back here. Now, let's see how we are here. It's not extremely tender, I don't think, yet. I'm just gonna cut some little old steaks off right quick. All right. That's just breast meat right there. Caleb, you're gonna love it, son. I think. A little livery, maybe. Not bad.
Kind of like duck, maybe.
It tastes like duck. I mean, it tastes so much like duck. It just don't have the fat that a duck has. I'm just gonna cut some meat off this thigh here. Personally, I think thigh meat is better. Try that, Joe. David was gonna go for it. David. I'm just gonna eat mine off the bone.
That kind of tastes like squirrel or something. To me.
Yeah, that's more like squirrel. The leg, most people just breast them out and they think the breast is better because chicken. On wild game, that's not the case. Ducks, I love the thighs better. Turkeys is an exception. The breast is better, but this here, the thigh is better. Let me get you some thigh meat, Caleb. Way, way better than the breast meat. And it's lighter in color. Try that, young whippersnapper. You want to try these legs? Sure. The actual drumstick part is not quite as good as thighs usually, but boy, the thigh is just amazing on these things. You like that a bit better, Caleb? I'm telling you, folks, when you throw the legs and thighs away on wild birds, you're losing out. All right, here's the last of the breast. I got 4 more pieces. It's more tender too, ain't it, Joe? That breast is a little bit tough.
Yeah.
When you cook the whole bird, then you can peel meat off and just keep eating. When I dress my birds out, I always leave the heart in there. So you've always got a little old tender piece of heart to eat. You want some, Caleb? You boys can have the heart. My kids have always loved the heart meat. Absolutely love it. It's not bad at all. Cook like this. Now, I mean, without the camp dog seasoning, it might not be good at all. I don't know. That camp dog really just makes it good. If you've been in the video with us this long and you're still watching, you deserve to know. Mr. Longbow Banjo was rabbit hunting with us when we got this crow. And I heard some crows back in the, I don't know, that's pretty far away, a couple 100 yards away, hollering. That guy has a voice. He can mimic a crow perfectly with his voice. He called those things in with his voice. Unbelievable. I wish I would have got footage of it. I couldn't see him. He was off in the woods over yonder. Called them in with his voice and knocked them down from way up yonder. When he done it, it sounded like this. How can he do that with his voice? So, he was having a good time. I think that we all enjoyed ourselves. Let's finish her on up there, boys. You just seen a crow get devoured, folks. There ain't hardly nothing left of him. We ate his legs, his thighs, his back, his wings, his breast, his heart. He's done. So, that ain't bad if you use the whole bird. And that's just sort of the way we do it. If you would like some good old Cajun seasoning, drop down in the head of the comments and order you some of that Cajun camp dog. You will not regret it. I've not had one, not even one, bad comment about it. So, put it to the test and see how you like it. But that's all we've got for you today. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.